Day 1 of lit circles, yes! Today the skill that you're going to be working on while you're reading is thinking about point of view. This should be review. We've talked about this before. You probably have heard it in other classes. But there's our 3 basic kinds of point of view, right? You've got first person point of view, thinking about words like I, me, we, us. That's generally told by somebody who is in the story. There's a character in the story talking about the story. Second person point of view, you're going to have a lot of the word you. Generally that is somebody speaking directly to an audience. It's used a lot in speeches or persuasive writing. Your third person point of view is going to have words like he, she, it, they, them, a lot of pronouns. We'll also hear people addressed by their names a lot. That's when you have an outside narrator who is telling the story, who is not a part of the story. 3 kinds. So, I can tell the bike is still in good condition. Has to be first person. We've got the word I, the person is talking about a situation they are in, first person point of view. William and John went to the function together. We've got their names in here. It seems like it's being told by somebody who is outside of the situation, so that's our narrator. That's going to be third person point of view. Finally, you are a very supportive friend. That word you should be a dead giveaway, right? That I'm speaking to my audience. That makes it second person point of view. Now I'm just going to blow your mind here for a second. There's actually 3 kinds of third person point of view. So you have a narrator speaking to you, but we can do that in one of 3 ways. The first way is third person limited, when a narrator is reporting the facts and interpreting the events from the perspective of one character. So basically, we're saying the third person limited, they are limited to one character. They know what that character is thinking and feeling, but only that one person. Third person omniscient is the all-knowing narrator. They know what every character is thinking or feeling, if they want to, at least more than one of them. Omni means all. So when we have omniscient, think all characters, all people. And the last is third person objective. This is your narrator who just is the neutral person. They're just looking at what's going on and talking about it. They can't see into anybody's mind or thoughts or feelings. Third person objective. So limited to one, omniscient means all, objective is just neutral, no thoughts or feelings. Let's practice this. So here's a quote from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Harry had taken up his place at wizard school, where he and his scar were famous. But now the school year was over and he was back with the Dursleys for the summer, back to being treated like a dog that had rolled in something smelly. The Dursleys hadn't even remembered that today happened to be Harry's 12th birthday. Of course, his hopes hadn't been high. So, obviously there's a narrator telling the story. That means we know it's got to be third person. But third person what? Think, how many characters was I able to get inside their mind, know what they're thinking and feeling? In this one, it's only Harry. We do know, his hopes hadn't been high, he's back with the Dursleys, or we know what he's feeling about this. That's one character. So third person, limited. Third person limited to one character. Do you think about it that way? What about this one? This is from the Fellowship of the Rings. A few creatures came and looked at them when the fire had died away, thinking the whole thing was quite strange. A fox passing through the wood on business of his own stopped several minutes and sniffed. Hobbits, he thought. Well, what next? I've heard of strange doings in this land, but I've seldom heard of a hobbit sleeping out of doors under a tree. 3 of them. There's something mighty queer behind this. He was quite right, but he never found out any more about it. So again, we've got a narrator. We know it's got to be third person, but third person what? How many characters do we know what they're thinking and feeling? We've got the fox. Hobbits, he thought. That's a dead giveaway. We know what the fox is thinking. Anybody else? Yeah. A few creatures came and looked at them when the fire had died away, thinking the whole thing was quite strange. So we know what a few creatures are thinking about up here, and then the fox down here. So it's more than one character. It's going to be pretty much everybody here that we're able to see what they're thinking and feeling in this story. So it's going to be third person omniscient. Omni, all. You remember that? One more. John laughed hollowly. You're joking, he said. The neon light flickered on his face, turning it a ghastly yellow. Veronica shook her head slowly. Her fingers were busy shredding her tear-stained paper tissue. I'm not joking. It's all true. John stood up and banged his fist against the wall hard. Once. He was shaking his head in disbelief. I'll have to leave now, he said, his voice terse. So then, we again have a narrator here, but what is the kind, right? What kind of third person are we talking about? Well, we actually don't know what anybody is thinking or feeling here. We can see what they're doing, which might help you make an inference about how they're feeling because you are a smart reader. But we don't actually get any of their thoughts or get into any of their heads. So that has to be our last kind. That has to be third person limited. I'm sorry, third person objective. Limited is for one person. Omniscient is for all of them. Objective is for just the neutral narrator. So on your reader sheets today, it's your point of view sheet on the back of it. So first of all, you need to tell me what point of view is the story that you are reading. First person, second person, third person. If it's in third person, you better tell me what kind of third person it is. And then put a quote down here that proves it. So prove to me, if you're saying it's third person omniscient, I want to see multiple people's thoughts. Good luck.